Hello friends! Alyssa and Richard here.
Hello.
Welcome to our channel. So, we first of all apologize, it's taken us a while to get this video up. I was like really under the weather for a long time. It took me kind of a while to get over being sick. So, here we are with our Q&A. Pretty exciting. So, we don't have very many questions, but we do have a few from you guys, which we appreciate. We actually were not able to get anything going on Facebook because our page was not approved for the name change. Yet. So
maybe it is by now, I don't know.
No, it's not. So we are still working on that. So we weren't able to like get this up on Facebook or, you know, get the questions from there, but that's okay. We're just gonna go with you guys and what you guys asked, which because there wasn't very many, we're gonna answer everybody's questions, even if you asked more than one. So this is exciting. We're excited to answer your questions today. And again, we thank you for the 300 subscribers, more than that now, which we're really thankful for. So Richard is gonna read the questions because obviously I'm blind and it wouldn't help for me to read them if they're not in Braille. So he's gonna read them and he's gonna say who asked them first. So what's the first one, babe?
We'll just do them in order.
Okay.
So Joy Who, hi.
Hi, Joy.
Your questions are, and she said feel free to pick one, but
we're gonna do all of them. So just start with the first one first.
I know you both want kids in the future. Does anything make you nervous, Alyssa, due to your blindness? And Richard, to support Alyssa in the areas she might need some extra help with, like driving kids around?
That's a good question, Joy. Wow.
You go first.
Okay, does anything make me nervous? Well, yeah. I mean, there's the normal mom-to-be nerves when you want to be a mom, and there's things that make you nervous. But because I'm blind, there is different things that make me a little more nervous. I would say the thing that makes me the most nervous is like if Richard's not home and I have the baby or the, well, however old they are, the kids, and someone falls or somebody gets hurt, and I don't know. I mean, obviously I can ask them, hey, where does it hurt? But if they're young, they can't, and they're not gonna tell me. Like, it kind of scares me because if no one's home, I have to guess, like, where are you hurt? What if it's bad and I don't know? You know, what if the kid's bleeding and I can't tell, you know? Obviously it wouldn't be like, I don't think it'd be that bad, and I think I would know with my mother instincts if it was like terrible.
I think we'd do a lot to prevent.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a lot of things you can do to prevent that. But you know, kids are kids, babies, young toddlers get into trouble and fall down, and that's just what happens, and they get back up, and that's good. But I always fear that I won't be able to know exactly what's bothering them because I won't be able to see it. But I know that I'll learn how to manage that and how to learn my kid enough to communicate, to know how they're communicating to me. So like to know based on what they're grabbing or what they're saying or doing, you know, and I'll know kind of what's hurting them. So I think that's just a part of getting to know my children. I think something else that makes me nervous about being blind and having kids, I'm just gonna be straight up and real here, is my cooking skills because they're horrible. I'm working on them. They're not like really bad, but they're bad enough. I'm not the best cook. There are blind people who are amazing cooks, and I admire each and every one of you because I'm not. So I just never have been good at it. So I am nervous of them just eating pasta every day. I don't think that's gonna happen, but that's just the thing I'm the most confident with cooking. So
sandwiches for,
well, yeah, sandwiches. That's true for lunch, yeah. But like I'm talking dinners, like I'm not a gourmet cook, so my poor kids, I don't know. We'll see. But it's a process. I'm learning. But I'd say those are the things that make me the most nervous. Everything else is just pretty much normal nerves that everybody has, sighted or blind. So I would say those are the top two for blindness related. So babe, what's your
Well, mine's a trick question because I was nervous. So no.
He doesn't get nervous.
For the rest of the question, how I would help support and like drive kids around and pretty much the things that are sight only, I guess. There's not many sight only, so it would just be supporting, which I would bet would be, you know, what you would ask of anyone that's just your spouse, like, hey, can you grab the diaper cream? I'm sure she'll have everything all in one spot so she doesn't need it, but that's the only thing I can think of, just regular spouse stuff, like, go grab me that thing, or can you run to the store and grab this because we're out of whatever vegetables and for dinner, you know, regular stuff. and driving kids around. We know some friends who go around in Uber with their kid with the car seat, and it's totally fine. So depending on that, I don't think you'll actually need me.
Yeah, I think, well, it will help to have you because it's when you're home and when we can go places together. But when he's working, I'm definitely planning on if I have to go somewhere, I'm just going to take the kids, get an Uber, and go. And it's not an easy thing, and I obviously would prefer going with Richard, but we'll just kind of work that out. I think I'll do a little of both. But he's so amazing and good and has such a servant's heart that I think there won't even be an issue with that. He's always willing to help, which is amazing. So, good question. What's the next one she has? I know she had a couple more.
What is your favorite way to serve together as a couple?
Ooh, that's a good question too.
I'll just throw in my
what's your answer?
cent that usually when we're either not mentoring, because I'm sure we will, but when we're with other couples, we just talk from experience between each other. So, filling in the story from each point of view or whatever. So that's the one I'm more interested in, is our favorite way to serve would be in mentoring.
Yeah.
Although we only are talking to people who are about the same duration married than us. That's the worst grammar I've ever heard.
Babe, what he meant was translation. I'm an interpreter for my husband. No, mentoring. That's a great one. We love to talk to other couples and encourage them in the Lord, give them advice, whatever we need to do. And that is a great way to serve. And we've always prayed that the Lord would send us people to mentor. So we're still waiting on some more people, but we've got a few, which is good. I would say too, obviously I'm a worship leader. So, Richard comes with me to all the, churches that I lead at or whatever. And I love serving with him in that way because he's not actually leading with me, but he is just my support. He prays for me. He gets to know the people that I'm at the church with, because sometimes I'll just get there to a church and I'll say hi to people that I don't know, but I won't actually talk to them because I'm busy and I'm occupied, but Richard will go talk to them, and he's just really friendly and personable. So we definitely minister together when I lead at different churches and things like that. So I'm really thankful to have him by my side through that. So I'd say that's my favorite way.
And the last one by Joy Hugh is, how do you mutually encourage each other?
That's a really good one. Babe, what's your...
Mutually encourage. I think it's when, if we're ever catching ourselves in a conflict that's heading towards a fight, if we can catch it, then we encourage each other by just stopping and putting down any weird feelings and just reaffirming, not our vows, but what we think of each other.
Yeah. To
just encourage each other. So it's a conscious decision to encourage each other instead of attack at each other.
Absolutely. And I think too, we read the book a couple years back called The 5 Love Languages. And that was really helpful for me because just knowing how each person receives love, and we both receive and give love very differently, but just learning how each other does that, and we encourage each other in the way that each other needs. So for me, Richard knows that words of affirmation is my thing. So he tells me all the time, just things that make me feel good, which is awesome. And he has a couple different ones, but I know one of his is quality time. So just spending time together, reading with him, reading a book, talking, whatever. And that's how I think we encourage each other, is by loving each other based on what we need, if that makes sense. So good questions, Joy. I really like those. Is there any? We have another one.
We have 2 more. Let's see. This one is by The Kindred Witch, and just says, I'd love to know how you two met. Being visually impaired person myself, dating is complicated in today's world, and you guys are amazing.
Aw,
congratulations on your 304 subscribers.
Thank you. Wow.
So, for a shorter answer, because we have a whole
video on how we met, and we can actually link that down below. I know I always say that and then we forget, but we'll have to do that. We're gonna link
for the short story.
Our love story. But for the short story, we met in college. Basically, his sister was one of my good friends. She introduced me to him, and we were friends for about 2 or 3 years. I'd say about 3 years until. Yeah, and then he started liking me.
But I'll say that since she was saying how there's a complicated world today, dating. So
especially when you're
I'd
blind.
say it would be part of a big group of friends and just being confident in yourself, and just people are attracted to that, and then people will talk to you, and then unless you're Alyssa, because then she shuts you down.
What?
And you just have to pursue her hard. So
What? How could you say that?
what I mean is,
Just kidding.
The advice
Watch the video.
the advice I'm giving you doesn't work if you're someone like
Oh my goodness.
because she was giving me the cold shoulder for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
You'll understand when you watch our love story, but
But the short answer would be, if you're looking for it, which I don't think she was, really, at least not from me, then just be in a big group of friends and, you know, just talk. Don't be like throwing yourself flirty, weird, but
no, it's true. And I think what you said, based on being visually impaired and dating and all of that, I would say, you know, obviously Richard is fully sighted and I'm fully blind. And I would say, really, the thing I had to learn was to trust him, because when you're blind, I think that your first instinct is to not accept love, because you're worried that you're going to be a burden to someone. I know I was worried for a long time, and Richard would get upset with me. That was the only thing he ever got mad at me for when we were dating. But I learned very quickly, because I would tell him, like, babe, aren't you going to get tired of me? Like, you know, aren't I going to become a burden to you with my blindness? And he's like, okay, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about. Second of all, your blindness is not who you are. It's just something we have to deal with, but it's not anything to do with you. And so he was always really, really encouraging. But, you know, when you're blind and someone sighted is, you know, or blind is dating you, I think your automatic response, I know a lot of people, and I know me for sure, is to turn them away because you feel like you're unworthy. So I would just encourage you, you know, not to let those feelings, you know, take over, because you are worthy, because the Lord made you worthy of love. And blind or not, someone's gonna love you for who you are, and that blindness is not gonna be any obstacle in their way. They're not gonna think of that blindness as a part of, like, as defining you, but they're gonna think of it as something that, oh, we just have to deal with that as, like, you know, something we have to deal with together in life, like an extra, how'd you say it, babe? Like my blindness was just something we have to, what did you say? It was so good.
Well, the thing is, you always have to translate what I say. So when
I know, but
I said it probably sounded good at the time.
the word you said was so good. It was like,
it's, you are not a blind girl. You are a girl that happens to be blind.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not your identity. It's just another factor. Like, you got brown hair.
it's just something we have, I think you said it's something we have to just get through together. It's just something extra that we have to do. And I think that's really a good way to look at it. So yeah, I would say that's the advice that I would have as far as visually impaired dating. But yeah, we'll link that video down below for our whole love story, because it's long and it's good. Okay, I think we have one more question. Yeah.
Tiffany Milburn says, just out of curiosity, what kind of dog is Gabby? I only ask because I'm completely blind. By the way, I enjoy your video.
Aw, thanks, Tiffany.
Gabby's
so,
snoring.
Gabby, yeah, if you hear snoring in the background, you may or may not, that's Gabby, my guide dog. She is a black Labrador Retriever. She's all black, and she's very cute. And she's kind of like a shorter dog. She's not super long. And she's kind of, like, she's not huge, but she's also not small. She's very stocky.
Got a square head.
Yeah, she's a really square head, and she kind of like, she's about 60 pounds, so everyone doesn't believe that. They're like, what? She looks so much tinier than that. And I said, well, she holds it, like, she's got like that weight, she packs it in, you know, she's a little dense girl. But yeah, she's beautiful. I got her from Guide Dogs of America, which is
purebred.
Yeah, she's a purebred.
Although her siblings could have been blonde. That's the weird thing about labs.
I know, they're either black or yellow.
Or brown, I guess.
Sorry, still getting over the sickness. But I got her from Guide Dogs of America, which is in Sylmar, California, and she's amazing. She's been such a great guide dog to me and a great friend. So anyway, I think that's the end of our questions. We're so excited to be able to do this for you guys and for you guys to get to know us better.
Maybe in the future, if we're doing some other video about something, but we get questions, we'll just answer them at the beginning or something.
Yeah.
Question Q&A moment during other videos. So
yeah, we'll definitely do more Q&As too.
they'll ask.
Yes, as our subscribers grow, we're going to do more Q&As and more fun things. So just, you know, don't be afraid to ask questions. We'll always try to answer them. You guys have been amazing. We thank you for your questions, and we will see you in the next video.
Right.
Bye.